Legal disclaimer: 7gen Network is a private community. We are private, meaning private invitation only. If you're watching this video, it's because someone invited you personally to take a look at the information that we're going to discuss today. You are being invited to see this opportunity to create your legacy of self-reliance to last 7 generations and beyond. This presentation is for the sole purpose of sharing information about our private community of like-minded people who agree to bless each other with gifts of money. If at this point you disagree with gifting, then now is the time to discontinue watching this video. It is not our intention to convince anyone to participate. We are simply providing the platform details for those like-minded people that are interested and agree to join the gifting platform. I just want to welcome everybody to this presentation, this information, and the goal here is just, again, to provide information for you. Now, I think what's important here to understand is, why are you here? Most of us are here for, it could be any kind of reasons. Many different kind of reasons could bring a person to taking a look at this information. But I think what's important about this time right now is that many of us arrive here and we have a lot in common. Now, of course, we are different people from different parts of the world, maybe different backgrounds, different nationalities, different upbringings, different education levels. There are quite a few differences among us. And certainly in this day and age, the media around us wants to emphasize our differences. But I think it's important that we recognize what we have in common. The truth of the matter is that when you peel away the layers and look at the world in general, we recognize that very few people have obtained and enjoy abundance and wealth and prosperity in this world, while many of us, the multitudes of us, the majority of us, are suffering in poverty. Now, I don't mean that in an offensive way at all. I just mean that if you weren't born in the ultra wealthy class, then it really means that you are part of the rest of us. Okay, I know that we all try to find differences among us, but the truth is that if you weren't born ultra wealthy, then you're part of the rest of us. And when we talk about the rest of us, it's very clear what the rest of us have to deal with. When you talk about 5% of the world, 5% of the population controls 95% of the wealth, and 95% of the population has a struggle and strife and divide up the remaining 5% of the wealth, then we can use our intelligence to really recognize what kind of challenges might there be associated with those statistics. But again, we're going to try to just find what are some of the commonalities among us all. Among us all, we care for our children. We want our children to have the best shot possible. We want to protect them, nourish them, nurture them. We want to guide them, influence them, and hope that they live the best possible life that's possible. And I think that's among all of us in the world today. But I think it's important that we recognize that we wish we were in a better position to do all of these things for our children. What about our health and our well-being? The truth is that, to this day, the largest killer of man is heart disease. And after all of the medical advancements and all the intelligence that we supposedly have reached in the human experience, it turns out that our health still seems to be out of our control. And don't we wish that we had that our health was more in our control? Unfortunately, a lot of us are so busy working to pay the bills or being distracted by the media, the movie industry, and the problems of the world. A lot of times we turn over the responsibility of our health and our well-being to maybe the medical industry, where they actually profit on our illness versus our actual health. Don't we wish we were in a better position to take care of our health? And what about our young people, experiencing our education system? We generally believe the story that if our children go off to college, and go through extensive education, they have the better shot at life. But in reality, we tend to find that, especially in this day and age, higher education also means higher levels of debt. There's all kind of issues and challenges associated with going to college, because we find that a lot of times college doesn't equip our children, our young people, for truly what is necessary to help them succeed in life. Instead, our education system seems to just be spitting out worker bees that are just already in debt and willing to take any kind of job necessary to help them start paying their bills, instead of really going out there and expressing their creativity and ingenuity. We just have sort of a debt enslaved young people starting their life off in debt. And of course, this is something that we wish we were in a better position to change. And how about wealth and prosperity? I mean, don't you wish you were in a better position to build wealth for you and your family? I mean, the truth is that many of us struggle daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and you might even struggle your whole life long, never really building any significant wealth to leave to your children or leave a legacy for your generations to follow you. And don't we all wish we were in a better position to enjoy the abundance and prosperity that is obviously available in this world? But again, it appears that the current economic system that we're familiar with, that seems to be part of the whole world at large. No one seems to be immune to this, but the whole world seems to be subject to the economic system that seems to do, it seems to live out that prophecy. That prophecy: the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And it seems harder and harder for average people like you and I to actually build wealth and enjoy abundance. Because at the end of the day, shouldn't we be living a happier life? Shouldn't we find enjoyment? Shouldn't we have purpose and meaning in our life? Shouldn't we be proud and happy? Shouldn't we have vigor and vitality in our lives? Shouldn't there be more to our lives? I believe God intended us to live a happier, healthier, more prosperous, abundant life than what most of us experience these days. And again, don't we all wish we were in a position to, smile more about the life that we're living? We created 7gen Network as an alternative solution to what the establishment has delivered to us. I mean, if you look around the world today, it's no surprise that the current economic system that we're all familiar with has produced some seriously underwhelming results, providing wealth and abundance only for just a few people compared to the multitudes, the billions of us that struggle and work for a living and live our whole lives, worried about our finances. And the 7gen Network is a community of people who recognize that something needs to change, that we're willing to try an alternative, and that we are, in agreement here. We're a community, private, not secret, but private group of people who've come together, like-minded, and we want to see some change and we want to do something about it. So what we've done is we've embraced an age-old economic system. Many people know about this economic system. Maybe it was part of your childhood or some time in your past, and they may have called it different things. We call it gifting. Okay, we call it gifting. Of course, different cultures have different names for it and all of these things, but we call it gifting. And in the concept of gifting, in the practice of gifting, what are we really talking about here? We're talking about people coming together. Maybe it's a family, maybe it's a neighborhood, maybe it's a community, or maybe larger. And people come together in an effort and a harmonious effort to help each other and supply each other with financial gifts so that we can do more. Okay, because individually it's a lot more difficult. But when you have a group of people together, then our economic achievements are certainly easier, simpler, and with the effort of people working together, the harmonious nature of gifting certainly helps for sort of like a community relationships. And the key here about gifting is that you could obviously save your own money and try to do all these things yourself, but the fact is that when you work with a group of people, you're helping each other. It certainly builds character, trust, and honesty and integrity among the people. Now, the key thing that we want to understand about gifting as well is it is an alternative economic system that represents the people. It represents the people. Now, you might have seen gifting in other formats too. If you look out in the world, in the corporate arena, you hear of this thing called crowdfunding. Well, crowdfunding is the same thing as gifting, right? People, get together. A lot of times you see these corporations and they'll say something like, hey, we're going to do this or that. We're going to create this program, product, service, invention or whatever. Let's get money from everybody to pitch in and help the corporation achieve their goal. Well, all gifting is the ability for the people of the world, we the people of the world, to come together in the same nature and help each other achieve financial goals. This could be putting a kid through college. This could be paying off some bills, getting out of debt. This could be buying a car, buying a house, or starting a business. Okay, the blessings of gifting each other are, unlimited. It's just a matter of finding the right people who agree to work together and make it happen. Now, this is not something that we want to do on a small scale. We want to take this to a whole nother level. As a matter of fact, we want to take this global. We want to create a global alternative economic system to help redistribute the wealth of the world and put some of that prosperity and abundance in the hands of the people of the world, rather than so few people, hoarding most of the abundance, the majority of the abundance, while so many of us struggle. We want to even the playing field, balance it out a little bit, and give people the opportunity to enjoy what the world has to offer. And we believe that gifting is that economic system. The practice of gifting is what can make that happen. So 7Gen Network is building a legacy of self-reliance to last 7 generations and beyond. Again, this is not a get-rich-quick program. This is something that we believe if we have the right people with the right mindset, we can affect some serious change in the world. Now, let's talk about gifting, and let's talk about the mechanics of it, the operation of gifting. So this may be familiar to you. It may be a first time seeing something like this. But this is certainly different than what most people are used to. Most people are used to either 9 to 5 kind of punch in clock, trading their time for money, or operating a traditional kind of business where you make heavy investments and these kind of things. But in the practice of gifting, we can generate, if you will, financial resources through people helping each other, and that's really this whole diagram here. That's how this whole platform works. So first of all, let's say that's you in the middle, and your inviter invites you to this platform, maybe to take a look at this video, maybe to join one of our live meetings. But your inviter invites you to participate in the community. Now, when you decide to join the community, understand there are other people in various positions that are already part of the community. You are coming in this case, as what we call the winter. Okay, and that's going to make more sense in a second. But when you come in as the winter, as a new person into the community, you agree to 2 things. Okay, just 2 things. One is you agree to gift the person in the autumn position. Okay, and you can see the relationship here. Okay, your inviter has someone that invited him, and then that person has an inviter, but you are going to gift that person. Now, the second thing you're going to do, you're going to contribute 2 people to the community. Now, the thing you want to understand is everybody does the same thing. Every single person in the community, when they come along, they all do the same thing. Everybody contributes contributes a certain amount. Okay, in this case, it's going to be $50. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Everyone contributes $50 and brings 2 people to the community. All right. Now, what happens is when you bring your 2 people to the community, they have to gift their $50 and they send that to the next person in line. But they also have to bring 2 people to the community. That's the 4. And those 4 people, they now gift the next person in line. And then when those 4 people bring their 2 people, they get the 8 people. And the 8 people, they're going to send their gift. And now it's your turn to be gifted. Okay? So absolutely, you see this correctly. Now, mind you, this is just a slice. Remember, you're only one of 8 people. Okay? Because everybody is one of 8 people. But the key is that you came along, you were invited, you decided to participate, you gifted 1 person. And while you brought on 2 and everyone duplicated your efforts, eventually you are gifted by 8 people. Now, the key to understand here is that process continues on. Even the 8 people, they have to bring their 2, and so on, and so on, and so on. While at the same time, you repeat the process. After you've been gifted, you will then turn around and gift the same person you gifted before again, which in turn helps you to be in position to be gifted again. Okay? And as long as everyone follows the protocol, then this process will be a residual gifting system. All right? Now let's take another look at it and just kind of another view. And also keep your eye on the right side of the screen as well, where you see some numbers. Okay, these numbers are going to get pretty exciting. First of all, remember, everybody that gets started starts in the winter position, and they sow their seed gift. Now, the seed gift, like I said before, is $50. Okay, $50 to sow your seed gift. And who do you sow your seed gift to? The person in the autumn position. The next step here, usually this is done by the week. So we'll say your first week is in the winter position. And then by the next week, you bring your 2 people into the winter position, but now you're in the spring position. Now your 2 people in the winter position, what do? They sow their seed gift to the person in the autumn position. Now the following week, your 2 people bring their 2 people, so now that's 4 in the winter position, who sow their seed to the autumn. Your 2 people are in the spring, and you are now in the summer position. The following week, your 4 people bring on their 2 people in the winter position, and they sow their seed gift to the person in the autumn position. But who is in the autumn position? You. And that's what we call your harvest. So when you're in the autumn position, you harvest. So in the case of $50, you sow your seed gift of $50, but you harvest $400 because 8 people sent you $50. Now this process begins again, but this time you sow your seed gift of $150, and then you harvest $1,200. And next you sow your seed gift of $500, and then you harvest $4,000. You guys see how this can get pretty exciting if you have the right group of people, like-minded, and everyone is respectful of how the system works. Now, the other cool thing about this, which we don't show you on the screen here, but it actually goes on. There's actually 2 more levels that we upgrade to. But we just felt like, as far as understanding the program, this is definitely good enough. I'm sure anyone who's listening to my voice right now could use an additional $4,000 to help with bills or achieve any other financial goals that you might have. And again, the harmonious respect of this system is truly what makes it work. Now, here's a couple of things to remember about the platform that are important. 7Gen Network is a private community of like-minded people. Again, we are not here to convince anybody. We certainly ask that if you are not respectful or don't believe in this kind of platform or have any reservations, please do not participate. Okay, if you decide that you don't want to participate, then do not. We just simply are asking only for people who agree and can respect the rules of the platform to participate. Okay, there is no one person. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to read. 7gen Network is a private community of like-minded people who agree to help each other by gifting money. Okay, so please be aware of that before you get started, and confirm with the person who invited you to watch this that that is something that you would like to do or not to do. There is no one person at the top. This is not a pyramid or Ponzi, or this is not MLM or a network marketing company or anything like that. As a matter of fact, we're not a company at all. We're simply a group of people who are working together to gift each other. Okay? The person being gifted, otherwise known as the Autumn, rotates every single month. In the example that we gave, everyone goes through the same monthly rotation. Okay? There's no way to do this without following the same process that everyone else follows. Everyone starts by gifting $50 first and brings 2 people to the community. This is not an investment group. This is not income. You are not paying anyone a portion of your gift, nor does anyone receive compensation or commission from you joining. This is not a high-yield investment program. This is not a pyramid or Ponzi. This is not a cash grab or get-rich-quick scheme. This is a private, not secret, but private community designed for longevity and generational wealth building. Now, what makes us different? Okay, you might have heard of different gifting platforms before, or you might just be curious as to what are some of the nuances to a gifting platform that make it special. Well, first of all, our platform is web-based. Okay, now, of course, it's all based on relationships and things like that, but the actual processes of gifting, sending your funds to who and when, and who sends their funds to you, and how do you keep track of the whole matrix and all these kind of things, that's all done through our private website. Okay, and in that regard, this is a software-driven platform, and a lot of the processes are automated. Now, if you've been part of gifting before, there's usually not a lot of technology involved. It's a lot, paper and just word of mouth and all these kind of things. But we here at 7gen, we're bringing this concept to the 21st century. We created a website, software-driven, automated, private website. You cannot just access our website. There's no general information. There's no, you can only get into our website through private links that are sent to you through email, and that's the only way to do it. Okay, it's peer-to-peer, meaning there is no third party involved with you sending your gift to each other. Okay, when you receive your gift from your 8 people, the 8 people send their gift directly to you into your account, which you choose. And of course, when you sow your seed gift, you are sending it directly to the person who you are to gift directly. We are not involved with gifting or on any level as far as you gifting each other. All right, so it's peer to peer in that way. It's geometric progression. Okay, so it's 2, 4, 8. And that's all you have to do. That's all you pretty much manage for the most part is your 2, 4, 8 core group. Okay, but of course it goes on. There's 16, 32, 64. Like I said a little while ago, we've reached the heights of 20,000 people plus now in our community, and we're expecting more. Guys, we're expecting 20, 50,000, 100,000, maybe someday 1 million or more people to become part of the 7gen community, because we are a alternative economic system that supports the people And we believe that that is what is great about this whole concept, is that 7gen and the gifting concept represents the people of the world. Now, we are decentralized. We do not, we're not a company, we're not a business, okay? We don't have any products or services. We don't have a home office or address or anything like that at all. We are just simply a group of people, and me and my partner just decided to, all we did was decide to create a website that handled the gifting process, because in our experiences with gifting, we found that the gifting processes were difficult and a lot of times out of control. So like literally out of control. So we decided to create a website to make it simpler for people to do, the practice of gifting. Now we do have a charity focus. Now, what does that mean? So like I shared with you before, you can upgrade from one level to the next level to the next level. In between each level, we ask that you make a small donation to our charity fund. Now, the reason why we do that is because we want to make an impact in the world and help contribute to humanitarian projects that are going on in the world. We are finally at a point where people are starting to apply with us and ask for help and donations and things like that. And that's what we intend to do with our charity account. And we certainly want to make everyone, we want to have everyone participate in that. The whole community gets to feel proud that some little way we all contributed to helping humanity save the children or feed the children or clothe the homeless or save the animals or clean the air, water, the planet, whatever it is. We will find a way to contribute as a community to making the world a better place. Now, lastly, we are a Bitcoin-centric platform. Okay, we're a Bitcoin-centric platform. So what does that mean? So first of all, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is certainly the currency of the future. Okay, and as we've talked about many times, the current establishment, the economic system, financial institutions and whatnot, we've already seen what results the establishment has produced. Again, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. But with cryptocurrency, here we have a method, a means to transfer, financial value to each other in an open market, no intermediaries, no financial institutions, no regulatory bodies, no entity can get involved and impede on our ability to transfer monies to each other using Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So this is what we suggest everyone use. If you're not familiar with Bitcoin, it's probably time to get familiar with it. And of course, any study at all on YouTube to learn about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, take a couple of hours, learn how to use it, and you'll find a way to create wealth and certainly participate in an alternative economic system that is representative of the people of the world. So with that, let's summarize and close up by reviewing a couple of our main points that 7gen represents. One, we want to redistribute the wealth of the world to help more people enjoy prosperity and abundance. And I think if you really think hard about it, don't you personally want to enjoy more prosperity and abundance? And then think about the people whom you love, care about, people around the world, your brothers and sisters, your family members, your people of the world. Don't we all wish we could enjoy more prosperity and abundance? And we believe 7gen is going to help people do that. How about build a community of self-reliance and personal responsibility? We want to cut the cord of dependency on our governments and the ruling class, the financial class, the corporate class. We want to cut the umbilical cord of dependency and become more self-reliant as the people of the world. Create our own institutions and entities. Maybe create our own banks, our own schools, our own food systems, maybe even our own utilities. Maybe so. Maybe it's possible, but we're not saying that people are irresponsible, but we certainly want to help people become more personally responsible for their well-being and their prosperity. And lastly, we want to help eradicate poverty to help improve the lives of men, women, and children across the world. Because, again, when you peel away the layers, when you think about the most nefarious culprit of all atrocities in the world today, who's to blame? I know we can point out politics and governments and all these kind of things, but at the end of the day, there are so many people in poverty in the world, and poverty makes people victims and vulnerable. And we want to help change that dynamic in the world by creating an economic system that represents the people. And at the end of the day, we want to contribute to the betterment of people's lives. And that's what 7Gen is really all about. So with that being said, thank you for taking a listen to this presentation. And please get back together with the person who invited you to watch this information. If you have any questions, they would be the best person to ask. And again, if this is not for you, if this turns out that not be for you, then just understand that we still love you and we still want the best for you. If this is not for you, we certainly hope that you find something that's in alignment with your passion and your purpose, and that you find some kind of enjoyment and happiness in your life. Thank you so much for listening. Again, get back to the person who showed you this video and let them know that you want to get started. Take care.